yours for different accounts. And then you could come along and start to paint different colors and start to speak for money. And that would just be kind of an overlay. So the budget doesn't care where the money is at all, just what its purpose is, and it keeps track of that. We just to keep it simple, we have a checking account and a credit card. And we'll treat credit card transactions just like we were taking money from an envelope, so that it's, you know, the same. You know, you just pay it at the end of the month, and we've been doing that for a while.
Do you really set it up by using the envelopes, or do you just?
No, this was just a visual. It's all in the software, just by category. Yeah, but I just.
So you just have your checking account, but what's in your checking account is allocated via the software.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
When I was first starting with that, it actually helped me to put the cash in the envelope.
Yeah.
My card is really easy to use.
Yeah, I was just actually going to say that if you're really kind of having a hard time sticking with it, you can just go to cash, and the world changes. You got to walk into the gas station place, and it's crazy. So, but it'll make you stick to it, that's for sure. Even like a category where you're like, man, we have no control over this. Just make it cash, and it'll be fantastic.
You don't want to be like those Visa commercials, though.
That's true.
Slow
Hold up the
everything.
line.
Check.
Yeah. Just do that with your head held high.
Do you have a specific way you track cash?
We treat it just like an account. We don't actually track it. I almost eliminate cash. If cash is there, it just kind of means, oh, it's already gone. But if you want to be more meticulous, then you can just treat it as an account. The thing about that is you got to like kind of be counting the cash and reconciling. I think I wouldn't want to do that, you know. But if you have, if a large portion of your budget is cash, then it merits checking. If your spending is 1% cash or something, why bother? You know, try and do as little as possible, but do those things that give you maximum return.
So are you going to demo your software then?
I wasn't. I wanted to keep it more about the methodology.
Okay. Well, just a question then. Does
Yeah,
your software import information directly from your bank account, or do you have to enter it?
It doesn't doesn't do what they call direct connect, where you put your password and stuff into the software and then it connects.
Mm-hmm.
But if you log into your bank, download, the software detects that you downloaded a file that it likes, and you just click OK and it'll import it. So
you have already your transactions entered in.
yeah, and then you just have to kind of go through a categorization, accept, process. Yeah. Direct connect will do it.
So in most marriages, there's usually one spouse that's more budget-minded and more budget-motivated than the other one.
Really?
So the Newells wanted me to ask this. This isn't my I'm kidding. Any suggestions, tactics to keep the other one, lockstep?
I mean,
that was just Roman wanted to know that one.
You'll find that spouses have different categories that they care about, and they'll kind of just watch those on their own. Like, if I ever try and slide something into the grocery category, it won't happen. It gets rejected. But yeah, one person might. I do virtually all of the entry. One, because in the software industry you say eat your own dog food, which means use your own software. So I eat my own dog food, and I'll catch stuff or think we should improve stuff. So that's one reason I do it. But also, I've never been able to get Julie to do it consistently. So she'll just stay quiet. What can she say? Any other questions? Yeah.
What about transactions that might go into different categories?
Yeah.
Do you take your receipts and like you said, every dollar, every penny? Do you break that out?
Yeah.
Or do you just kind of lump it, super Walmart, super Target, into the grocery, even if it's not all grocery?
I'm going to answer it one way because I can tell that you probably think that would be crazy to do that. So I'm going to say no. You don't split your transactions. But in the software you could. It's just a mechanism to do it. But if it's going to make you stop the whole process because you find something tedious, then don't do the tedious thing. Just say Walmart and be done with it. Yeah. And you'll get to know how much you spend at Walmart, and that will be scary.
Like I go to Target and I
buy groceries and I buy clothes. So sometimes I'll ring it up twice. Like I'll ring up all my groceries and then I'll ring up all my clothes and then I can separate. Well, this one goes in the clothes budget.
Yeah,
This one goes in the
Subtitle.
Yeah.
Subtitle.
fantastic.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
they can do that easy. Just ring it up twice.
I think Julie actually will lay stuff out on the belt according to, so it'll still be one, but
They
then
do
she'll be able to say,
subtotal.
oh, that's where that starts, so.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, or asking for a subtotal, they'll do that, just subtotal it for you really quick. So yeah, just avoid the tedium if it's gonna make you quit, that's the important part. If you find yourself saying, I can't believe he suggested this is the stupidest, stop doing that part of it and do everything else, and you'll come back around. Brother Powell.
You know, I haven't used your exact method, and I don't even know what your software is. But I'll just attest to the fact that when you get to the point where you're living, not paycheck to paycheck, you have a month or 2 months or something that you're living beyond that, then, or in front of it, I should say, in front of that money coming in, I'm telling you, your life will change. Because you don't have the pressures, there's nothing to argue about finances, and that's one of the number of reasons why we have divorce in this country is arguments about money and financing, and your life will just change when you get to that point where you're not waiting for that next check to make sure you can make the rent payment or the house payment.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so what you speak of is definitely I can attest to that.
Yeah. We cheated when we first started, Julie and I did, because I started this budgeting thing and then we were on a variable income, and I realized right away we can't assign every dollar a job if we don't know what we're going to make. And so I came to her and said, hey, what if we spend, what if we had wedding money because we'd just gotten married. So we totally just had this windfall, and I said, well, let's just live on this chunk and then we'll be a month ahead. And from that point on, that's what we did. So we got lucky with that. But that, I can only tell you because from personal experience, it's almost all we know. But we have never had fights about, you know, just these, I mean, we discuss priorities and what we want with the money. That's good and healthy. But when you're starting to get this intense blame, you know, situations, those only happen, like Brother Paul said, when you're standing close to an edge where you're both pretty freaked out. If you're standing far away and have all this time to think, you're not going to be mad at each other because you're going to be just discussing. It's a whole different environment in which to discuss stuff. So, any other